I'm in Kobe the morning after playing a show and staying over in what feels a bit like a music college, a strange institution run by Ali Morimoto, who's best known to me as a member of, or the founder of Fan Club Orchestra Japan, which was a kind of accessory to or tribute to or extension of Scratch Petland in the early noughties. And basically they released some CDs which were Nintendo Game Boy based and inspired by the kind of weird African 8-bit improvisations of Scratch Petland. So Ali has now founded this place, which is part music venue, part live-in band accommodation and music school, which is called the Guggenheim House in Kobe. And it's in a very charming location, a little bit round to the west of the city of Kobe, in a villagey warren of little alleys, which clusters around a river which runs down to some docks with a strong smell of fish and the sea. And you've got squeezed in tightly between the house and the sea. There are a couple of railway lines, including the JR line, the main line, going towards Shikoku from here. So Ali is going to take us to a fish market. Kishi? What's the name of the fish market? Akashi. Akashi fish market. Meeting us here in the kitchen at 11. The kitchen is chaotic, but an organized chaos. We were woken up by somebody practicing saxophone scales this morning, and there's a strange doll with enormous breasts which hang down lower than her feet. What's the name of the doll? Princess Oppai-chan, the princess of the breasts. Her breasts are striped, and the stripes are bordered with silver glitter, and she has enormous nipples. And I was suggesting when the doll's maker, do you remember the name of the doll's maker? I think it's Ali's wife, right? No? No. Okay, not... Resident. Yeah, she's a resident. She's one of the music students, I guess, and she... we were talking about how it should be... This doll could be called Amaterasu. Well, I thought it should be called Amaterasu. She seemed to like that suggestion. So now I'm sitting in the front garden of the Guggenheim House, looking at the facade, and it's a typical traditional Kobe house, which means that it has nothing in common with any of the houses in Osaka. It's basically colonial-style architecture from about 100 years ago, with arched gables, roof tiles, sort of spindly, that classic colonial style of spindly pillars, white painted, and a lot of clustering outhouses, newly built structures around it. So the place we're staying, there's sort of what I've called the music college, is through the back, and that's like a whole wing. It's like a school or something. But it doesn't, as far as I know, it doesn't have the official status of a school. It's a venue which they rent out for events, music concerts, but also weddings. You can have your wedding reception here. Slightly overshadowed by the din of the nearby road and rail infrastructure, but Ali actually showed us a spread in some magazines yesterday of some porno or gravura shoots, which were so erotic photo shoots taken in the building with pretty girls in states of semi-undress. So it's a venue you can hire out. So I'm talking to Ali. I get the impression it's almost like a music college you made here with the students who are learning music.
I don't know. I have only one thing that I'm self-organizing now. It's like you said, it's a course, musical course.
Musical course, yeah.
And I'm inviting a DJ or some kind of intellectual of music
So you
to
pick,
come.
You pick how many people?
One people by once a month.
Oh.
We have a free musical course of 2 hours.
Yeah.
And last month was Checo. Nigerian modern soul.
Oh yeah.
And before that was Czech music.
Czechoslovakia.
Oh. So there's some, but I'm not asking for Czech music. There's some people that I'm asking, and they choose their team.
Okay. So while the course is going on, the students are living in the college, living in the Guggenheim House.
No, it's the only kind of musical event, and it's a course.
Okay.
And but the house that people are living, it's not a musical musicians.
Oh, okay.
It's only normal workers.
Okay.
And they have some. They all have maybe some musical activities.
Yeah, because they were rehearsing. I heard people practicing. And,
There's some, and we are having maybe 6 of 9 people who are living is joining the band called Pedogu, which is a very messy trumpet, only trumpet and chorus.
Yes. I should explain the name. This name comes from pet, which means fart in French, and Pedogu from Guggenheim House. So it's the farting of the Guggenheim House.
And the diminution of trumpet in Japanese is petto.
Petto.
Also.
So there's a triple pun going on. Because Ali is half Belgian. You're born in Belgium, right?
No, I'm born here, and my father is Belgian.
Okay.
And I was 6 years in Belgium. In Brussels.
Yeah.
While I was doing art school and the end of high school.
So you met the brothers Baudou in art school?
Okay. Laurent of Scratch Petland of Fan Club Orchestra was in the same school, and we were very close friends.
I see. So you started, you bought the Guggenheim House, or no, how did it happen?
Yes.
You just bought it?
My parents, but we come from this town.
Yeah.
And my mother maybe 50 years here.
50 years,
means that she came after the Second World War.
Yeah.
In family.
Worldwide War. Like Worldwide Web.
Worldwide.
www.
はい、いいと思う。大丈夫。階段でいい。で、so for them it was kind of ordinary things that they are always in this building. And
But the building was used for what before?
Before oil companies dormitory.
Okay.
And it was empty for more than 5 years. And it was to sell, but there were no people buying.
Yeah.
And in the end, at that time it was collapsing a bit. The roof was broken.
Because I noticed there's many empty houses here on the waterfront.
So. And so my sister worried a lot about that house, and she was studying historical art and culture and those things. So she wrote a letter to the propriétaire, owner, and finally we were a bit close, and they show me the house, and she offered to make her wedding party. And to make this wedding party, lend money to a kind of capital to begin restoration. And this whole story collapsed because there were some people who wanted to buy, but it was not some people, but it was a real estate agency. And so the owner was very afraid of a real estate agency buy that house because they were not sure that they will keep the house.
The personality. Maybe demolish it because the land is more valuable than the house. I see. But here in Kobe there are many old houses like that, and they're normally protected, no?
They're normally protected, yes. But normally, this three house that you can see is not protected. Okay. Because we don't want to be in the law, no? If it's classified, we cannot demolish ourselves.
If it becomes a historically protected monument, you can't do anything to it.
So it's quite difficult law.
You want it in between the two, between the property developers and the cultural protected status.
So now the situation is that the city of Kobe is watching, and they like that we are using in a way that others cannot use.
Yeah. So you have friends on the government. They like what you're doing. Okay.
But what I'm doing is very grey zone.
Grey, yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But they think it's very important that it is very.
Yeah, no, it's great that it's active.
Actively used.
Yeah. And it's not in the location with in Kitano, for instance. There are many other. It's on the tourist track, but here it's not. Really.
All the others is more you pay a certain fee to visit the house, but it's not using it. That's only a museum. And other way is also maybe a luxury restaurant. And this is the way that normal people can easily use. And,
but events also, concerts. So it's good for them. So you have local people from the local village here coming?
Also. Yeah. So today there were a yoga class in the second floor. And at the first floor there were a chorus lesson.
Yeah.
And the chorus lesson is only 60 to 70 aged, middle-aged, old-aged women.
These ladies, yeah.
30 old-aged women singing.
So you're providing a real community service.
So I think, but maybe they are people living here is they're using, and I'm glad of that. And you see the cosplay people yesterday. They were shooting.
I didn't see cosplay people.
Yesterday was using for shooting, and there were maybe 10 girls and 3 male photographers.
How did I miss that? That's amazing. I didn't see them.
Shimon saw them, so you were just in close.
Okay.
And the day before it was a big wedding party.
Yeah.
100 people. So it's a very multiple using, but we didn't prepare any using. So it's the people who came here and
just organically developed.
So.
But you have no subsidy from the government, for instance. You just organizes itself.
So now it's so we are 3 is living and working with the money of Guggenheim land. And for me it was a miracle, because in the beginning it was only using one using per month, and what was marriage of a friend or something.
And why is it called the Guggenheim? Is there a connection with Guggenheim family in America?
I don't know if it's a connection with Guggenheim New York or the family Guggenheim, but it was this is built in 1909.
Yeah.
So it's 103 years ago.
Yeah.
And in 1909 it was built by a Guggenheim family.
Oh.
And the architect is called Hansel, an Englishman. And the owner who built the house was Guggenheim. And they lived only 6 years. So in 1915 there were some wars.
Yeah.
So
Worldwide War.
So they left the country. But the Guggenheim had an import-export company in Sannomiya, in center of Kobe. And we saw to some directories And in that, there are some other Guggenheim in the same company, who is entre parenthèses put New York. Means that somebody come from New York.
So there is a connection with some New York Guggenheim. Probably they must be connected somehow.
It's a big family.
Yes.
So,
but you didn't hear any problems. They didn't the Guggenheim, because it's probably a registered trademark or something. Now they have a global franchise of Guggenheim museums. But you're not saying you're a museum, are you?
No, it's said Guggenheim House.
Yeah.
And my mother and father were, my mother was thinking very, naively to call Guggenheim Shioya. And to call Guggenheim Shioya will be a problem.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, that would be a museum.
But Guggenheim House is a different thing.
Yeah, it was really built by Guggenheims, yeah.
And in Japanese we call Kyu Guggenheim Te, which is a former Guggenheim House.
Former, so even more careful, yeah.
So.
Yeah.
And it's something very common in Japan to call some house Kyu Goto-te or Kyu Yamada-te, which we put X.
I see. Right, wow.
I don't know. It was just personal talk at
I
the
see.
time.
Okay. Yeah, we were just talking about the Fan Club Orchestra, which I bought it when it came out because I was a big fan of Scratch Petland, and but you were using Nintendo Game Boys and things like that, yeah.
And we were only Game Boy orchestra.
Only Game Boy, yeah.
We were four only Game Boy player, and each one had 4 Game Boys.
Okay.
It means in the big one it was 16 only Game Boy
yeah,
orchestra.
there was like a diagram on the CD sleeve showing all these connected Game Boys.
And in the CDs it's more musical making, so there is some tell-me or keyboard inside it.
But it seems like now you've developed a similar idea, but with trumpets and this kind of real instrument.
I'm always doing that.
You like the idea of a band which has just one instrument, but many.
I'm too basic.
So, and you showed me a diagram yesterday where you have one band with 10 drums and one band with 10 trumpets. Is it 10 trumpets? And then what was the third one?
Tabla bongo.
Tabla bongo.
Asa-chan came to make a workshop of tabla bongo, and tabla bongo is a kind of new instrument that Asa-chan arranged. Indonesian dandutu instrument, which is called dum dum, I think, and which is a very easy bongo thing with a stand, which is used like a tabla. So it's the tabla is very difficult instrument, and it's a kind of easy tune tabla.
Yeah.
And so he make a workshop 2 years ago, and there were maybe 18 persons, less than 20 persons who came. Okay. So we keep the contact, and we are making a kind of lesson ourselves, and we will provide a concert in 2 weeks.
Okay. And why did you evolve from electronic instruments to acoustic instruments?
それはI like both.
But now,
but I'm making a Game Boy solo in 2 weeks too, in the same event in Motomachi. So now for the Game Boy, it's much more easy to make it solo. So I'm making a solo with 4 Game Boys, and it's kind of improvised stuff. And I'm starting from zero with a basic program of Techno Shichao with a Game Boy Pocket camera.
Oh yeah.
So very old stuff.
Okay.
That one I'm still continuing for more than 10 years.
Okay.
More acoustic. Besides, I'm making some electronics too, but I was always acoustic too.
And when you were at art school, you were doing music projects at art school?
I was more installations of sculpture or moving image, movie makers too. But so I was more movie makers, and I put ね、existential music, and after I wanted to use the original music, so I begin to make.
Oh, you were using already existing music. Yeah, I like existential music would mean like a Jean-Paul Sartre. Yeah,
no? That already exists.
Yeah.
So it was a kind of beginning that I make music. But in the beginning, when I was in art school with Rohon, I had some Japanese friend, and we made a group called Mori no Kuma, and we had some joint concert with former
the Bear of the Forest. Bear of the Forest. Yeah. It's surprising how close we are here to Shikoku, and it's just across the water here. And you were saying that you can go there on the bus for very little money, or with a ferry. We're crossing the bridge here. We're looking at the bridge, rather. The suspension bridge looks like the San Francisco Golden Gate or the 4th Road Bridge or something. Leads to
just cross the bridge. It's only 400 yen by bus.
Okay.
Maybe useful to do in the afternoon.
Yeah.
でここはね、it was an imperial palace, so imperial gardens, so the pine tree are great.
Yeah. And can you tell me something about this fish market we're going to see?
It's just a local small fish market, but it's a fish market for professional ones. Okay. Means that we cannot buy. It's only people who is allowed and who have a fish shop.
Okay.
So it's very maybe active and simple.
Okay. Yeah, we just passed the Seiko clock tower here at Akashi, and it's a bit like Greenwich in Britain. It's the Japanese mean time is measured from here, and they keep the most accurate record of the time. I don't know if they use an atomic clock. If they do, it's the only atomic facility left in Japan, because all the atomic power stations have now closed down. Who stopped in the station to get a stamp? Hisai always likes to collect stamps, which are a particularly Japanese thing. You have a local design which you can stamp with ink. The stamp is of the Seiko Tower with the Japan Standard Time. Also in the expedition to the fish market is Satoru-san, who very kindly promoted my concert last night. You did okay? You didn't lose money with the promotion of the concert?
No.
Of course, selling an amazing table of all Momus CDs ever, except maybe for Tender Pervert. There were a couple missing, but it was pretty much my whole history spread out on a table. And we had, 50 people or something?
Yeah, 50.
50 people, which is not bad for these days. Tell me about Forever Records. When did you start Forever Records? Not Forever.
Yeah, before I was working another record shop.
Yeah.
Imported record shop.
Yeah.
Called LP Corner.
LP Corner. And same area.
Yes, same area. But Umeda area.
Umeda, a bit further uptown.
Yeah. And I moved to Forever Records in 1987.
87. So every day since 1987 you've been there, pretty much?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But I started to work in record shop in 1983.
Oh, really?
Okay. It was new wave time.
Yeah. And you still have an amazing selection of the new wave records, electronic records, 80s music, and L records, this kind of thing. You were particularly interested.
I remember where L and Creation, of course.
Yeah.
Before Rough Trade, Factory, 4AD.
Yeah. And you interviewed Mike Allway, is that right? Or you met Mike Allway? No.
Do you know Hidetsugu Ito?
No, I don't think so.
But he was writing your Japanese record liner notes.
Yeah.
He introduced Mike Allway
I see.
to me.
Yeah.
And I sent fax
Yeah.
to Mike.
Yeah.
He was writing about April March
Yes.
for me. So yes, I was working in Forever Records,
Yeah.
and one of my friends in Tokyo, he booked Sonic Youth Japan tour, first Japan tour. They were not famous in Japan in late 80s.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. Also current 93.
Yeah.
And Death in June,
Death in June, yeah, all these bands.
Boyd Rice,
Yes.
also Rose McDowell
Uh-huh.
from Strawberry
Strawberry
Switchblade.
Switchblade, yeah, I've met them, yeah.
I was helped his booking. So, of course, I know Japanese independent and underground music scene.
Yeah,
Just like Bo Adams,
yeah,
Shonen Knight,
yeah.
and yes, many other Japanese underground music scene in Osaka,
Yeah.
especially Bears.
Bears Club, which
Bears
is in
Club.
Number
In
Bears. It's a basement,
Very small place.
a very small, sticky, old-fashioned rock venue, basically.
Yes,
Yeah,
very
but
small place, but very important place.
yeah, in the history of the music.
In
Yeah.
underground scene.
Yeah.
Because everywhere starts from Bears.
Okay.
Shonen Knight too.
Okay. I'm going to switch off while the siren goes by. One thing about my relationship with Satoru is that he, if I put something bad on my blog, he's the first person to tell me you shouldn't say this. Like when I put Tobita Shinshi picture, which I just wanted to talk about how you couldn't photograph in this area, but then I found some photographs with Google Street View. But in one of the photographs, you could see one of the models, shall we call them, the prostitutes' faces. So Satoru, within minutes of this going online, Satoru wrote to me saying you should take this picture down.
It's dangerous.
Dangerous, yes.
It's very dangerous.
Dangerous or embarrassing for the family or something. So you're my teacher of etiquette. So we're just coming up to the fish market here, and it's a shed by the waterside. We're going to be run over by a truck. Smell of fish. And this strange noise of, I guess they're auctioning. This is the money process. Wow. They have their own counting system, different from normal counting. Oh, this is amazing. Very rhythmic. Octopus writhing in a bag. And there's just this table and about 30 men. They all have these gaffs with the sharp hooks on the end. And the fish they're bidding for are actually alive and writhing around in these white polystyrene boxes with water in them. So they've just come off the boats. I can see the auctioneer and he's calling out the prices, but I can't see how they're placing the bids. They're doing it in such a low-key way. The bidders have numbers on their hats. Go to the next table.
It's auction wrap.
I should, yeah, like a wrap, yeah. It's kind of like Janken Boy, the game you play, is scissors, paper, rock. Scissors, paper, rock. Janken Boy みたいね。Janken Boy. Yeah, much smaller than Tsukiji in Tokyo. Obviously, that's a whole city really of fish dealing. But this is one shed with 2 tables with auctions going on constantly, and the little fisher boats coming and going, selling immediately to the fish dealers, the fishmongers on the dockside. Hisai says that it sounds to Japanese ears more like Chinese, the way he's shouting out. So you don't know the word he's saying? He's saying saiga, saiga, something.
The accent sounds really like Chinese.
This
word he's saying saiga, saiga, it means nothing in Japanese, no?
I can't understand. No. It's very special word.
Special, yeah.
なんか中国語っぽくないですか？
で、向こうもこういう指のサインだけやし、なんだかわからない。そこにおる。
There are these constant escape dramas. It's like called it's basically the octopus is escaping from its tower block of polystyrene containers, which it's been imprisoned in, and they're very clever. They're very slippery, so they can get out between very small cracks. But then the fishermen notice it and come and stop them. There's one squid mountaineering up the side of a stack of boxes right now, or octopus rather, not squid. And no matter how many times they get spiked and put back in, they still seem to be alive. So it's like a horror film where the monster keeps coming back. Satoru quoting Morrissey, channeling Morrissey, says fish is murder. It is.
A lot here, this kind of very old style
fishing boat.
Fish boats.
What are these, the hairy kind of things? It looks like a Chinese dragons or lions or something.
It's mesh, not, you know.
Oh, net. It's net, yeah. It's wound up net. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking out over the harbour. Many of these small fishing boats. Everything done on a very small scale, not big fishing boats, just little small individual ones. Yeah. Because in the West, usually very big trawler fishing boat.
I think it will be 3 or 4 ships.
Yeah,
and
together.
They take.
With one net with 3 or 4 ships. And fishing mostly at night with lights, bright light. Or that's maybe different fish.
Bright light はイカとかカラマとかは bright light に coming だけど、I think it's early morning stuff. In Shibuya, I have friends who are fishermen now, but they come from fisherman family, so they came.
So it's something that goes down many generations. So you stay fishermen.
And they have a kind of house village.
Special
places. In Shibuya, it's 4 families who are fishermen, so they have to be in the family to be a fisherman. They accept maybe albaito, but the real fishermen they cannot be in the association without being family.
Oh, wow, like mafia.
But
fishing mafia.
But it's not in all the association. But Shibuya one is a kind of old style.
So it's like running a ramen restaurant or being a kabuki actor or something like that. Do they? They don't have special names descended from old.
でもあるあるなんか they have some name Yamamoto ya
Oh,
とか
yeah.
morning net.
This was noon net and there's morning net also. So just twice a day.
だから noon net は so morning net is too early. It's maybe before 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
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 And here they have some noon net place market, and those one is after 5 that they are taking fish.
Okay.
You know, Kizu Ichiba.
Chiba.
Kizu Ichiba.
Ah, yes, the
in
Kizu
Daikokucho.
market. Yeah,
Kizu
but,
market.
I go to Oda supermarket, which is
Kizu
there.
market
Yeah.
is early morning.
Yeah,
Early.
but not just
Very early.
fish, beans and other things.
Yeah. Not only fish.
Yeah.
But a lot of fish.
Yeah, I've never been there early morning.
Very early morning. 2 o'clock. They start 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah,
Wow.
in the morning.
Oh. Yeah, I just go there to buy bread and stuff at Oda.
Movie, but maybe some
Sort of cinephile.
Cinephile. Yeah, we're in a very Showa atmosphere, Shotengai. Well, it's like an arcade, and we saw a porn cinema with a movie called Russian Stepmother, and yeah, quite strange. A sign outside saying children from 6 to 18 are not allowed. So if you're under 6, you can go and see the movies there.
5 women to see pink movie, which is not unusual, and they enjoy a lot too.
Right. In Osaka, I just went once to one of these cinemas in Shinsekai, and it had amazing round-backed seats. So you could go there with a friend, I guess, and maybe even have sex in the cinema or something. It's like a semi-private wooden back on the seat, so you were protected from the other view of the other. But nobody was in the cinema.
But
Me and Hisai were the only people there.
We see some gay real relationship.
So they go to heterosexual films, but they're gay men.
Yeah.
Because it's cheaper than
I don't
internet
know.
cafe.
Maybe he was not gay, but a male prostitute.
Transvestites.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole area of Shinsekai which is transvestites. Yeah. So I'm here in a restaurant where we're going to eat some takoyaki in soup, which is a Kobe version of the Osaka takoyaki, and sitting with the artist who made the Opai-chan, the large-breasted doll I was describing earlier. And your Namai, what's your name?
Takahashi Mika.
Mika Takahashi. And so you used this Opai-chan in an exhibition. So all your work is made with dolls, or just Opai-chan?
Not just Opai-chan. I make brooch accessories.
The jewelry and accessories.
I like hige.
Mustache.
I make mustache motif brooch. So I make for entrance ni Opai-chan.
She's just to draw people into the jewelry and accessory exhibition. She's like a promotion.
I make for お客さんに遊んでもらうため
to make visitor to play around
Okay.
with
Just to make-
Opai-chan.
Okay.
with photo
Okay. But also,
Shaking hands with Opai-chan.
but they can pin your accessories onto Opai-chan also. She can be a model.
モデルあ、おっぱいちゃん
おっぱいちゃんにブローチとかつけれるかも。
あーそうそう
She can have brooches on her Opai.
どんどんはいいろいろファッショナブルに
Fashionable breasts. Yeah, looks a little painful. So you went to art college in Kansai?
あーもっとコレッジ行ってない
Okay. How long have you been making this art? How long time making this artwork?
30 ここ2年間ぐらい
2年間ぐらい
1年間かもしれない1年間ぐらい
Okay. And you're living in the Guggenheim House?
I live in Guggenheim House.
What, and how did you discover this place?
ミスカバー見つけたか、I live in Osaka for 4 years, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So I met Ali. So last year I moved to Kobe. So アリさんに住むところ相談した。
And how much do you pay? How much rent?
3万円。
Some 3,000. 30,000 a month for one room. And shared kitchen, shared bathroom. Yeah, that's quite cheap. Yeah, yes. And it's a good place to live. And meeting interesting people.
山と海あるのがすごく I like mountain
And the sea is close by. Yeah. 面白い。